This is Numbers chapter 13. Here we'll find Israel camped at Kadesh. If we use some information from Numbers chapter 20, verse 1, Numbers chapter 33, and Deuteronomy chapter 2, verse 4, we know that Israel's been through 18 unmentioned camps since Sinai, and it's been 24 months since they left Egypt. Here at Kadesh, Israel is on the southern edge of the Promised Land. Are they going in? Numbers 13, verse 1. Yahweh spoke to Moses, saying, "Send men that they may spy out the land of Canaan, which I give to the children of Israel. Of every tribe of their fathers you shall send a man, every one a prince among them." Moses sent them from the wilderness of Paran, according to the commandment of Yahweh. All of them were men who were heads of the children of Israel. Comment: at Yahweh's command, Moses just sent 12 spies into the Promised Land. They're not the same leaders of the tribes we've been reading about. It seems they're younger men, more physically fit for the job. But verses 2 and 3 call them princes and heads, so they might not have been as old, but they were well respected. Coming up in the next 13 verses, we find their names. None of the names have appeared before, and none will appear again, except for Joshua and Caleb. Verse 4. These were their names: of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua the son of Zakur; of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat the son of Hori; of the tribe of Judah, Caleb the son of Jephunneh; of the tribe of Issachar, Egal the son of Joseph; of the tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea the son of Nun; of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti the son of Raphu; of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadiel the son of Saudi; of the tribe of Joseph; of the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi the son of Susi; of the tribe of Dan, Amiel the son of Gamali; of the tribe of Asher, Sethur the son of Michael; of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi the son of Vavshi; of the tribe of Gad, Guel the son of Maki. These are the names of the men who Moses sent to spy out the land. Moses called Hoshea the son of Nun Joshua. Comment: that was the first time we heard the name Caleb. He's of the tribe of Judah. We already know Joshua. He led Israel in the battle to fend off the Amalekites on the way to Sinai, Exodus 17:10. And he climbed at least part of the way up to Mount Sinai with Moses, Exodus 24:13. He's been Moses' servant since that time. Joshua is an Ephraimite, a descendant of Joseph. Verse 17, Moses sent them to spy out the land of Canaan and said to them, "Go up this way by the south and go up into the hill country." Comment: Israel is camping in the south, so Moses is telling the spies to go straight in. Verse 18, "See the land, what it is, and the people who dwell therein, whether they are strong or weak, whether they are few or many, and what the land is that they dwell in, whether it is good or bad." Comment: Yahweh has already said 5 times, it's a land flowing with milk and honey. Going on, "and what cities they are that they dwell in, whether in camps or in strongholds." Comment: in other words, do they live in unwalled villages or fortified cities? Verse 20, "and what the land is, whether it is fat or lean, whether there is wood therein or not. Be courageous and bring some of the fruit of the land." Comment: Moses says, be courageous. That's the only way to live with God on your side. Any other way is offensive to him. Going on, "Now the time was the time of the first ripe grapes. So they went up and spied out the land from the wilderness of Zin to Rehob, to the entrance of Hamath." Comment: that's from the southern part of the Promised Land to the far north of it, near the Euphrates River. Verse 22, "They went up by the south and came to Hebron, and Ahiman, Sheshai, and Talmi. The children of Anak were there." Now Hebron was built 7 years before Zoan in Egypt. Comment: Hebron is the first major town they came to. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob are buried there, but it wasn't a city when Abraham lived there. It was called Oaks of Mamre. This is the first time we've heard of the children of Anak, also known as the Anakim. This verse mentions 3 tribes of them around Hebron. They're, quote, great and tall, Deuteronomy 9:2. More about them soon. Verse 23, "They came to the valley of Eshcol and cut down from there a branch with 1 cluster of grapes, and they bore it on a staff between 2. They also brought some of the pomegranates and figs. That place was called the valley of Eshcol because of the cluster which the children of Israel cut down from there." Comment: Eshcol means cluster. The cluster of grapes was so big they carried it on a pole between 2 men. Verse 25, "They returned from spying out the land at the end of 40 days. They went and came to Moses and Aaron and to all the congregation of the children of Israel to the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word to them and to all the congregation. They showed them the fruit of the land. They told him and said, "We came to the land where you sent us. Surely it flows with milk and honey, and this is its fruit." Comment, verse 26, we find the camp is now at Kadesh, still in the wilderness of Paran. They're right on the edge of Canaan, poised to go in, and the spies return there to the camp. They say the land does indeed flow with milk and honey, but also, they say, verse 28, however, the people who dwell in the land are strong, and the cities are fortified and very large. Moreover, we saw the children of Anak there. Amalek dwells in the land of the south. The Hittite, the Jebusite, and the Amorite dwell in the hill country. The Canaanite dwells by the sea and along the side of the Jordan. Comment, the spies are afraid. Canaan is full of the Anakim, the Amalekites, and various tribes of Canaanites like the Hittites, Jebusites, and Amorites. But God has already said at least 4 times that he will drive out the inhabitants of the land from before Israel. Quote, I will send my terror before you, and will confuse all the people to whom you come, and I will make all your enemies turn their backs to you. I will send the hornet before you, which will drive out the Hivite, the Canaanite, and the Hittite from before you. Exodus 23:28, verse 30. Caleb stilled the people before Moses and said, Let's go up at once and possess it, for we are well able to overcome it. Comment, Caleb made a wonderful statement of faith. Verse 31. But the men who went up with him said, We aren't able to go up against the people, for they are stronger than we. They brought up an evil report of the land which they had spied out to the children of Israel, saying, The land through which we have gone to spy it out is a land that eats up its inhabitants, and all the people who we saw in it are men of great stature. There we saw the Nephilim, the sons of Anak, who come from the Nephilim. We were in our own sight as grasshoppers, and so we were in their sight. Comment, this is an epic statement of fear and unbelief. They've got no faith. The natural result is cowardice. The land certainly does not eat up its inhabitants. If the land is eating up its inhabitants, how can they be so strong and numerous? It's just fear talking. Verse 33, the spies claim that the sons of Anak are so big that they make the Israelites look like grasshoppers. According to them, they descend from the Nephilim. That takes us back to Genesis 6:4. The Nephilim were, quote, mighty men of old, men of renown, end quote. They descended from, quote, God's sons when they came in to men's daughters and had children with them, end quote. So according to the spies, the Anakim have supernatural genetics from the Nephilim. Verse 2 said the spies were 12 princes, but they're not going to feel like anything but grasshoppers without some faith. And from verse 22, we know there are 3 tribes of Anakim at Hebron, plus there are more in other places, Joshua 11:21 and 22. Just 2 chapters ago, the people were complaining in Yahweh's ears, lusting for anything to eat other than manna. Now they see the giant bunch of grapes and pomegranates and figs from Canaan, but they won't go up. What's the Lord to do with them? We'll have to wait for Numbers 14, which you can find at landofhavilah.net. Numbers 14. Here's the map of Numbers 13. Israel's camping in the wilderness of Paran at Kadesh. Moses calls Paran a great and terrible wilderness, Deuteronomy 1:19. At Yahweh's command, Moses sent spies north into the promised land, which is Canaan here. To this day, we can see it's much greener than the wilderness of Paran. God promised Abraham his descendants would possess the land from the Euphrates River here to the river of Egypt. So all through here is the promised land, Genesis 15:18. The tribes in the area descended from the one man Canaan, Genesis 10:15. So Canaan is the general name for this area until the Israelites take it over. As the spies went from south to north, they came across the wilderness of Zin in this area, Hebron and the rest of the valley of Eshcol here, where there were 3 tribes of the sons of Anak, the Anakim. They spied all the way to Rehob, which may be here, and the entrance of Hamath. Hamath is way up here, over 300 miles north of the camp. As we zoom in on Canaan, the spies said the Canaanites were living from the seacoast to the Jordan River, which runs up and down here. Then the spies returned to the camp at Kadesh. See you for Numbers 14.